What's up, bro?
Why you
Hello.
cheating, man?
What makes you think I'm cheating?
You don't miss a shot.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you one of the best games I've played on Warzone. This game was solo versus quads, so I queued up for quads and dropped in as a solo. I ended up dropping a ton of kills, but I didn't even break my PR. It's just the way this game unfolded and the way it all went down is what made it so much fun. As for the class setup I was using, I talked about this gun a lot last video. The C58 with the 4x scope is completely busted right now. I know I talked about it like crazy in my last video, but this gun is 100% the best gun right now. It's just people haven't really caught on yet. So if you're trying to break your PR or just go for high kill games, definitely throw this gun on. But anyways, I'm going to break down my thought process throughout this game and show you guys how I got it. And obviously you don't have to play solo quads to use these tips. You can play regular quads with teammates and still use these tips, and it'll just be way easier because you have people to back you up. But as always, if you guys learned something, if you guys enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe because I'm going to drop a whole bunch of more Warzone videos to help you guys become better players. So let's get into it. So as you guys already know, I love going for the hospital heli, but if hospital is too much of a stretch, I just go for a chopper that's on the way, and then I'll fly over to hospital. So now I made my way over to hospital, and I see tons of players here, which is great for us. We're going to be able to get tons of kills. I go to clear out top because if I clear this out, I'll be able to have high ground on the rest of hospital. So I see one guy jumps off and I immediately go for a gun. I hear a guy on my ladder. Obviously people on ladders are really easy kills, and I had a shotgun. So I see a guy floating in. I go for the Milano and I get some really good shots on this guy. We get that kill. And I see another guy floating in. So I start shooting him just to get him to like come down to me. So he comes down, I get the armor break, and I go to push him with my shotty. Obviously he just landed in. So I get that kill and I flick away just for some style points. Now I've looted top. Generally you're going to find really good guns up here. And I see fighting in front of me. Obviously I have high ground, so I'm free to go for all these kills. I get the armor break on him. I go for a rechow, and we get that kill. So now I'm just looking around. I see more fighting in the direction where I got that last kill. So I go to peek over. Obviously I have high ground. This guy's on the roof, so he's a really easy target for us, and we get the kill. Now I end up getting RPG'd by this guy on the half roof. He's able to get to cover, but I do see another guy floating in. So I go for the kill on him, and I probably could have got the kill right here, but I heard enemy dropping in, and it's going to be a lot more important for me to save the chopper rather than go for that kill, because I'm going to be able to get tons more kills with this. So now I fly over to try and fight these guys who I was shooting at earlier. Unfortunately, this guy tries like trapping me with his heli, but in doing so he makes himself a really easy target, so we get that free kill. So after I get all the free kills at hospital, I always go to downtown and just loot the rooftops with my heli. There's usually plenty of cash and it's a really safe way to get your loadout. So I just got my loadout and I still have a little bit of health on my heli. I'm not going to have it for too much longer, but while I have it, I'm going to be able to easily outposition teams. Especially in downtown, it makes getting on rooftops so much easier. So now I see fighting at the square by. Again, I've got the heli, so I'm easily able to rotate to the rooftop and get high ground on these guys. I see this guy sniping at the rooftop. We get the pick on him. Unfortunately, you're going to see his buddies just go run inside and hide, so I'm not going to be able to kill those guys. Now, as I said, my heli gets disabled. But if you look at the zone, everyone from downtown is going to have to run through the open to get to hospital, so I end up rotating here earlier. That way I'll be able to get tons of holds. So I go top hospital because I heard a bunch of fighting to the west. And unfortunately for this guy, he gets really bad timing as I catch him out on the zip. So I still hear shots to my west, and I go to peek over. I get one knock, and I see one's already down. So I don't go for the full on that guy who's already down, just to see if his teammate's going to go res him. Now this guy's not that dumb, he's going to play his cover. But eventually you're going to see me look to the left to see who these guys were fighting. And I see one player, he goes for a res, but I didn't notice he was doing that. So I just kill him. But if I had noticed, I probably would have let him res. That way I would have been able to get both of those kills. And now I see the original player I was shooting at. He tries to rotate out, but we're able to get the kill. The 4x just makes those beams so easy. As I said before, we rotated this way so we could hold out downtown. So I peek over, I get a kill on the guy on the rooftop. And I see more shots to the north. So I ADS, and I see this guy. The guy's like 200 meters away, and I just incinerated him with this gun. So I float to this rooftop to get this guy's ammo. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have much, so I just kind of got to work with what I've got. I see another player rotating in, and I'm able to get the knock on him. Now I'm really low on ammo, but I hear more fighting to my right. So I go for the kills on these guys. Unfortunately, I'm out of ammo now, so I just kind of got to use my MP5. I know another guy's got to rotate in. I get pretty bad timing on the nade, so I don't get that kill. And I see more players rotating in, or flying in. I go to check where this guy is rotated to. I don't see him, so I go for the kills on the gulaggers. I get one knock. This guy's one shot, so I go to push him, and we get the knock. Now, one thing I do is I don't immediately go for the fulls. I reload, I play my life, and now I see the third guy's knocked in the gas, so I just go get the fulls. I ended up popping UAV, and I see a couple more players in the area. But what's important here is that I don't directly go for the kills. I don't directly just push in the building and try and take the gunfights that way. I get the high ground, that way I'll be able to take these gunfights where I have the odds stacked in my favor. So now the UAV isn't up anymore, but I remember seeing some pings to the northwest, so that's why I'm looking in this direction. And I see one guy rotating in, so I get the kill on him. Obviously now his teammate's aware that I'm here, so I kind of just gotta wait for this guy to make a move, wait for him to rotate out. Unfortunately, he peeks as soon as I look away, which could have got me killed. I really should have been a lot more careful there, because if he hit that shot, it would have been game over. But he still got to rotate, and the C-58 just shoots missiles and we incinerate him. I thought there was another player in hospital, which is why I was checking my back so much on this rotation, but there ends up being no one. So what I do for this rotation is I wrap through Promenade. That way I can at least duck inside and out of the buildings for cover instead of just rotating through the open. As I was rotating, I thought I was hearing something in this building, but I wasn't really sure. Eventually this guy ends up jumping off the roof and we hit some pretty good shots for that kill. So now I gotta rotate in again, and I see a res at IHOP, so I want you guys to think about what position is going to give me the most advantageous gunfight on these guys at IHOP. Now if you guess top green apartment, you're 100% right. This gives me high ground, and he's also fighting someone at train, so I'm able to get the third party and a free knock on this guy. Now, one thing that affects my decision making here is that I see his regiment and I recognize it as one of those Korean teams, and I know they're super sweaty and they're pretty good players, so instead of just fighting them regularly, I go to rotate around and I get zone on them. That way I'll be able to hold them out. Even if I didn't recognize these guys and I thought they were the worst players in the world, I still should have done this because it gives me such an advantage over these guys. So now zone starts moving and I go to mount up. I see one guy, I get an armor break. I get a knock right there. I also saw another one by the heli. So I get the down on him and I get the finish. Again, the 4x at this range is going to make it so much easier. Especially if your enemy doesn't have the 4x, then they're pretty much just going to lose. So I saw another one. He dropped down from IHOP, so I'm guessing he's just reviving his buddy behind the yellow car. There, I see him peek out. I get the knock on him. Now the zone's caught up to them. They go for the heli, but obviously it's super easy to kill people while they're getting in the heli, so we get both of those kills. So my plan for this rotation was to keep playing the left side of Promenade and keep playing the edge, that way I can still try and get more holds. I get to this roof and I hear someone break a door next to me. I'm pretty sure it's a gulagger because there's pretty much no other way someone would have got behind me. He ends up coming onto the roof in a second and I see him with the pistol there and we get the kill. The 4x is really awkward at those ranges, but we're still able to manage. So I'm rotating in again and I'm still playing the left side of Promenade. I rotate up to this hut. Even though it's not really a power position, I want to stay here for a little bit to see where the zone shifts, and then I'll be able to play off the zone. So now that I see where the zone shifted to, I'm trying to get to my orange ping, since I think that's going to be the best spot in the zone. Unfortunately, you're going to see on the other side of this wall, I see a rose skin, and he's kind of snaking. He looks directly at me. So at this point, I know I'm not going to be able to get there, since I'd have to cross through the open street. I just put some shots to scare him off a little bit, and I go to wrap back to Promenade. So I wrap back towards Promenade and I slow down here since I heard fighting at this apartment earlier and I know people are going to have to rotate out. I see one guy there and I know I won't be able to get it down, so I just go to out rotate them and try and get some holds on them. I get the knock now and I don't push, I just keep my position because I know they're going to have to come to me. He ends up getting third partied, so we get the down on that guy as well. And I go to push him for the full. One thing to note is that as I get this full, the team count doesn't go down. So the number of teams stays at 3, and that tells me that there's probably another one in that direction, which is why I turn around in heartbeat. This guy also gets ripped by the other team, and we're able to get that kill. And now that I see the new zone, I know I'm going to be able to hold out the last team, since they were just shooting that last guy I killed. Unfortunately, they make a good play and precision me, which forces me to avoid the precision, and while I'm doing that, they're going to be able to try and rotate in. Now after I avoid it, I immediately go to this rock. That way I'll be able to take these gunfights with some cover. I get the pick on this guy, and I kind of just predict that his teammate would have been a little closer. So I flick to the rock, I get the armor break, and I nade both sides of the rock, that way he won't be able to escape, and we get the win. This was also my first solo quads victory, which is why I thought this was one of my best games ever. But anyways, thank you for all the support you guys have been showing me. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to start streaming, so I'm going to link my Twitch down in the description, so go follow that if you care to watch me live. But anyways, thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys next time.